Hey guys, welcome to week 6 of our basketball program. It's our final week. Hope you guys have enjoyed it up to this point. This is our final week with the last set of progressions, and obviously with the season starting soon, hopefully you're all ready to take on the season ahead.
Okay, here is our program for the last week. As you'll notice, the same as the last few weeks in terms of our schedule. Just a couple of comments. If you have started training for the season ahead, feel free to continue along with the program, and you can probably just try and mix it in with either the rest days or doing, your court sessions when you're doing your upper body exercises, just so you're not fatiguing your lower legs too much. I'll give you some ideas for how to progress this program as well once this is finished, because ideally, in order to continue to get stronger and reduce the risk of injury, it'd be a good idea to continue with the strengthening and the stability work throughout the season. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time going through the exercises this week, very similar to what we've done the last couple of weeks now. Just ensure you're doing a proper warm-up before commencing any of the exercises. So our first exercise is going to be the single leg sit to stand, just progressing, trying to do sets of 15 for that one. Our second superset is going to be our Nordic curls for our hammies and our reverse Nordic curls for our quads, bumping up to 10 reps for both of those this week. Our third superset is going to be our straight knee calf raises with the weight again, going for 15 repetitions. And then we're going to be supersetting that with a new progression of the dead bugs, which I'll show you now.
Alright, so our next dead bug progression, we're going to be using a nice heavy anatomy textbook. We're going to assume that dead bug position. Again, we're trying to think about that posterior pelvic tilt, keeping our lower back nice and flat against the ground. Book's going to be up in the air. It's going to be can be any weight really, and that same sort of positioning with the legs, so one at a time lock, whilst we're bringing both arms down, controlling that book, whilst keeping that lower back flat against the ground. That's the main thing. If you're finding your lower back surrounding up and you're not able to control it, this exercise is too difficult for you, you can either lower the weight, not use any weight and just those arms, or progress to something we've done in the previous weeks.
And our last exercise cluster for our leg and core day is going to be our bent knee calf raises with weight again, going for 20 repetitions for that exercise, supersetted with our Russian twist again, using our weight or book, and we're going for 25 reps with that exercise. Okay, so with our upper body day, we're going to commence with our pike push-ups again, this time trying to increase our endurance and work on doing 15 repetitions per set. Next, we're going to be doing our jump push-ups, which I'll show you in a second, a new exercise. I'll just stress before we show the clip to make sure that you're comfortable with doing the clap push-ups first before progressing into these, because they are very challenging, and if you're not adequately prepared for it, you can get injured doing it. So just make sure you're nice and confident and comfortable with the clap push-ups beforehand.
Alrighty, so our last push-up progression is going to be a jumping push-up. So this is really exploding, using a lot of force through our upper body, and it's going to help with some long-range shots as well as some passing. So Lachlan will show it for us. We're only going to do 5 reps of this because it is quite challenging. Perfect.
Okay, for our next 2 exercises, you'll see in brackets that we have more weight. So the idea of this is we're applying the principle of progressive overload, which we've spoken about in the previous weeks. So by adding more weight, we're going to be reducing the amount of reps. So just using that same backpack again. Of course, gyms are open now, so if you have access to a gym, using a barbell or dumbbells will work probably a little bit more efficiently. So our first one's going to be the bag bicep curl, going for 8 reps like we spoke about, just doing it nice and controlled. And then our next one's going to be the bent over bag row, again 8 reps. And for both of these exercises, they can be performed with a barbell or a dumbbell as well, determined by your preference.
Alrighty, so our next dip progression is going to be adding a bit of weight, so using a backpack again with those books in it, again doing the dips with that nice good control and good technique. Good job, Lach.
And our last exercise is going to be our pull-ups again if you have access to a bar. For those of you who are gun at doing pull-ups, and if you're able to do 15 to 20 comfortably, you may consider adding in some weight via backpack, or also like a dumbbell, holding it up by your feet as you do that to make it a little bit more challenging. Again, we're just trying to work until fatigue for all 3 sets. Okay, we have a fair few new exercises for our full body workout, starting with our exploding Bulgarian split squats, which we'll demonstrate now.
Alrighty, so we're up to our week 6 progression. So we're going to be doing an exploding Bulgarian split squat. So basically our front leg's going to be pushing up with a bit more force so that we get into the air. So like we'll demonstrate, that's it, using our nice strong powerful glutes and quads to propel us up into the air. So we're just going to be doing 8 reps of that. Make sure your surface that you're doing it off is nice and sturdy for this one.
Supersetting our split squats, we're going to be doing our push-ups again this time, trying to load up the backpack with some more weight if you feel like you're able to be up to that level, and we're going to shoot for 15 repetitions doing that. Following our push-ups, we're going to be doing our single leg deadlifts again with the same weight that you used last week, this time trying to go for more repetitions, going for 15 per set. Then we're going to be supersetting that with a side plank progression, which we'll demonstrate now.
Alrighty, so our next side plank progression is going to be a side plank shoot through. So what's going to show it to us? We're going to do basically a mobility drill for our upper back, our thoracic, or thread the needle, but we're doing that incorporating the side plank too. So we're just going to be doing 15 reps of this on each side. Again, thinking about that good control through our trunk and legs.
And our next exercise cluster is going to begin with the bent over bag row, similar to the upper body day, using some more weight and reducing the amount of repetitions we're doing. We're going to be supersetting this with a front plank progression, which we'll show you now.
Alrighty, so next up we're going to progress the front plank to be a long lever plank. So we're going to be having our elbows a lot higher up, closer to our shoulder instead of just straight underneath us. So like will show us, it becomes a lot more challenging doing it in this fashion. We're just going to try and keep that neutral position, so making sure our butt's not too high and holding that. So if you can, a minute hold would be ideal.
And then wrapping things up will be the bent knee calf raises with some more weight again in that backpack, going for 10 repetitions on each leg. Okay, I've just included a few different tips for those of you that get stuck with progressing and don't know how to challenge yourself further. So I think the format I've outlined here with the program is pretty good and has a wide variety of exercises that you should be able to get good results in. The first thing is to try and increase the reps you perform each workout. So even if it's by 1 extra rep in one of those sets, it's still progress, and you're able to slowly but surely bump it up over time. And then once you're comfortable with the weight, or you're able to achieve 15 reps comfortably, try to increase the load that you're performing the exercise with a very small amount. So usually I'd use something like a 2.5 kilo weight, or putting like a 1.25 plate on each side. If you don't have access to a gym, using an extra book in that backpack is another way you can achieve this. If you do hit a plateau, try alternating doing a heavier day with lower reps with a lighter day and higher reps. So for example, if you're doing some push-ups on a Monday and a Thursday, on the Monday go heavier, really load up your backpack with weights and do less reps, and then on the Thursday you might do it without the backpack and just try and really burn it out. And I find that's a good way to break through a plateau. Of course, going to a gym will make this process easier. Having access to different machines and knowing exactly how much weight you're progressing will make, like I said, the process easier. And then the other tip I've left is to try and include a deload every 6 weeks, where you just reduce the volume, which is the weights and reps that you're performing, by about 50%. And this will just ensure that your body can desensitize to the load and help continue to make progress and reduce the risk of injury. Okay, so here we have our last progressions of our stability and plyometric exercises. Moving forward from here, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe run through a couple of these exercises as a bit of a warm-up before any training or games, just to prepare your body for the landing and the balance demands required for playing basketball. So our first exercise is going to be the single leg balance with the ball slam, like we did last week, just trying to progress the repetitions to 15 per side.
Okay, so one of our last plyometric progressions is just going to be a bounce. So it's one leg at a time, really trying to work on our ability to produce force horizontally and improve our sprint speed. So Locke's going to show up to us.
And after the bounds, we're going to be doing our single leg landing onto the step, just the same as last time, going for 5 reps on each side. After that, we're going to be doing our single leg hop for height, trying to gain as much distance as we can in the air, just doing the same repetitions as well compared to last week.
Okay, and our very last single leg landing progression is just going to be landing from a height with one leg. So Locke's going to show it to us. That's it. Focusing on that good squat technique as you're coming in, absorbing those forces through your quads and your glutes, and that's going to help reduce the risk of any ACL injuries coming from a height.
Okay, so you've made it to the end of the 6-week program. Hopefully you guys have got something out of it and are feeling ready to go for the season ahead. If there's anything you struggled with in particular or you found a bit more challenging, feel free to give us a call or send us a message and we can help you out. If not, hopefully your bodies are in good shape for the season ahead, and good luck.